So the shippers have been pretty busy. If you don't know what that is, it's pretty much a community of a fan base where they take characters and they ship them. Basically meaning that the characters are put in a fake romantic relationship that doesn't exist to please themselves. It's a very strange community, very active community in just about every fan base. And a lot of the times they're very degenerate, strange, angry, and they will do some really weird stuff. And I'm going to go over them in this video because they're doing some very strange things. Again, we have journalists talking about it, and I want to go over some stuff that I've seen. It's a Gundam did a really good video. I want to highlight something he said and go over a few things because it's just funny to me. So let's check some of this out. So this has been the biggest one to me. I'll actually link this video in the description if you want to watch it because it's full of a lot of cringe that he went and found. And I'm going to use this part right here. So this is Adam Driver and his real life wife. This is the woman he's married to. People are so obsessed with the Rey and Kylo ship that they're literally saying that they need to split them up and get Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver together. You see, this smile reads, SOS, help me. There's literally pictures of, like, when he's smiling and looking at Rey, he's like, this is a real smile. I never saw him smile like this with his wife. They're literally talking about breaking them up and trying to force him and Daisy Ridley together in real life. In real life. That's how far they want to take the ship. I mean, this by far to me was the biggest example of lunacy when it comes to these people. And then, of course, you have stuff like this. So you have stuff like this. This person's got a whole post for how to grieve. Why? Why is that, you ask? Well, that's because spoilers. And this is one of the last times I'm going to say it because it's been over 2 weeks. If you care about spoilers that much, you need to go see the movie. I'm sorry. That's because Rey and Kylo share that kiss, and then Kylo passes away to the other side. So, of course, they got what they wanted, and then they took Ben away. We're going to get to the crown jewel of this in a second. So here's some advice to people grieving that death. This is a serious post. These people are quite serious, I'm telling you. It's very strange group shippers. This is why I always like to make fun of them. And this is why you don't cater to them. Star Wars literally catered to shippers with that whole Rey and Kylo thing. Kind of gave them what they wanted, and now they're going insane. It's a very degenerate group. So, hey, Reylo fans. People saying they have physical symptoms like nausea, trouble sleeping, body aches and headaches, etc. That's your body responding to grief and stress. So, if you felt a little off, it's because your body's helping you work out the miserableness. This person's actually having body aches, nausea, and trouble sleeping because of fictional characters in a movie that didn't end up together. So because of that, this person's literally having stress. This is the problem with today's society. It sucks. It's hard. Your body is helping you. Make sure you're helping it too. If you're having trouble eating, don't shoot for a full meal. Try and eat little snacks, 3 bites every now and then, or minimal swallowing food like yogurt and soap. Try and go on walks to get your blood flowing, or stretch if you can't get outside. Try something methodical with your hands, playing music or an instrument, crafting, cooking, and even if you can't eat the food now, you can store it for later. It's hard. It's devastating. It speaks to your heart that you love this all as much as you did, and it speaks to the power of the story you fell in love with as well. Grief is real, and it is grief. Don't it's just a movie yourself, because yes, it's a movie, but just because it's in your head doesn't mean it's not real. That's the power of art and fiction and humanity. Feel your feelings, but remember little ways of taking care of yourself as you do. This person comes in, thank you. Art is powerful and it brings so much joy but also pain, and your body can't tell the difference between what is real and what is not. Just that you're in pain. So I definitely saved the best for last. Now, this is from fangirls over at Sci-Fi Wire. Sci-Fi Wire is just as bad as the Mary Sue in a lot of ways. We've gone over the Mary Sue before, because I do enjoy some good cringe. And this whole shipping stuff has been some pretty enjoyable cringe for the most part. This takes the cake, though. This is definitely the best stuff. So like I said, fangirls is really bad. Just as bad as Mary Sue. And it's because of articles like this. So, following the rise of Skywalker, what is there left to say about Reylo? What else is there to say? Well, the author of this article has plenty to say. Talks about how, how great it was, and, it's sad to see them go. But it was this paragraph that really captured my attention. Really, really got me thinking. So the paragraph starts out talking about how people are upset with the conclusion that after, they get their little kiss, Ben dies, and then Rey goes and lives alone on Tatooine. We actually don't know if that's what happens. Odds are, I think eventually they are going to pick up after this story, probably decades later, where Rey's passed away and she's already reestablished the Jedi Order. And then, there'll probably be another Skywalker. I'm sure they're going to pick that back up because, well, they have to. They'll see when they try to do Star Wars movies without any Skywalkers or anything like that. But regardless, people aren't happy with the way that this has gone down. So Reylo fans have, by and large, not been wild about this conclusion. Lindsay Romaine, an editor at Nerdist and co-host of the podcast Halo Reylo. That's right. There's a podcast dedicated to the shipping of the characters. I don't know how much material you can get out of that. Maybe each chapter of the podcast is dedicated to describing years of their lives. I don't know. But it was noted that the fandom was feeling how the fandom was feeling in the aftermath of the film. There's been a lot of outrage from what I've seen. I follow several Stan accounts because of my podcast, and they have mostly been in mourning. Kind of like the previous one I showed you. What was it? They were in legit mourning over fictional characters. I mean, I felt sad when Iron Man died, but I didn't need grieving process. I didn't need to grieve and, take medicine and stuff because, well, it's a movie. But hey, these people, they take obsession to a new level. And they'll even start saying things like this. Now, this is what really got me interested. So listen to this. Okay, so Ben's death, Ben dying after he kissed Rey, is apparently this. It's also rooted in this weird sexism that we see a lot from male creators, where a woman expresses a desire for romantic love, but it has to be tragic. And they have to be alone at the end of the story.
What a story, Mark.
Goes on to say, as someone into Reylo, it felt worse that they even acknowledged their mutual feelings at all, if it was just going to end up that way, pursuing the heroine by killing her soulmate. The whole movie felt like an attempt to please several different camps at once, but in a really unsatisfying way. That's really all that I want to read out of this article. But it just shows you. So now, writing this story, the writers of this movie, J.J. Abrams and whoever else he wrote this movie with, are now is and phobes because of the way they wrote it. It's sexism to have the main character pass away. They should have been together, man. They should have ended up together. And because of his writing there, now he is an ist. Kind of sounds like maybe what they should have done is what a lot of us were thinking, and split the movie into two parts. It still would have been one movie. Technically, would it still be a trilogy? No. But I think a lot of the writing problems that the movie had could have been fixed. Now, what does this have to do with Reylo? Not much. I think it would have made the story better. I just wanted to touch on this. It should have been split into two parts. But the whole Reylo thing is quite cringy, isn't it? Isn't it sad how far they'll take it? They'll call you an istophobe. Talk about splitting up real-life actors and actresses' marriages to put two real-life actors together because of their fictional characters. They've even sent J.J. Abrams take-you-out threats. They want to end the man's life because he didn't end up putting two fictional characters together. I mean, look at the whole Finn and Poe situation. And that's a weird one to me. Why can't... And we see this with, like, Steve Rogers and Bucky. Like, they want to ship them. Why can't two dudes just be friends? You know? Anytime you have two, like, male characters in a movie now, they automatically need to be hanging out behind the woodshed. It's like they can't just be buddies. It's so strange. Like, why can't two characters just be friends? No, you got to ship them. And Disney likes to cater to these people by shipping, like, okay, so with Poe and Finn, they alluded to it. They never went all the way there. And because of that, all they did was enrage that group. Just like they've enraged the Reylos, who are taking it to a whole new level. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about this. What do you think about the shippers? What do you think about this community? What do you think about the stuff they're doing? Give me your thoughts on that. What do you think about the idea of them splitting the movie in two? I think that would have been a better way to go, to be honest. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Share the video. Remember to make sure you're still subscribed. Remember, leaving comments and likes help the video out a lot in the algorithm. That's pretty much how videos get pushed and recommended now, is through interaction. So you guys make or break content creators now, and it's kind of good or bad, but it's really the only way that we can compete against people like Jimmy Kimmel, who they want to be the top dog on YouTube. Anyway, that's all I got. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.